Hello, hello. Oh man, I really do hello, hello. That's terrible. Um, welcome to another welcome welcome to another live stream podcast with your hosts Jamie White and Ray Hayes. Ray, how's it going?
Hello, hello. I'm good. How you doing?
Man, that's funny. I really Ah,
It's like your signature move, man.
yeah, clearly that wow. Well, you're right about that. I do hello hello every time. Sorry about starting off that way, guys. But we're here once again, another weekly podcast for you guys. So as always, thank you for tuning in every week, listening to us, giving us a shot, and hearing what we have to say. As always, definitely want to start it out. If you're a small business looking to connect with large organizations, definitely check out www.supplierty.com. And if you're looking for any news on small business and diversity, check out suppliertnews.com. So, all encompassing, trying to cover as many things within the supplier diversity or just diversity world in general and small business. Now let's go ahead, let's get into the live stream. So today we are going to chat about Chance the Rapper's recent $1 million donation, as well as just education in general, and is this a catalyst, if you will, for a quote unquote education revolution where we're going to see more people involved in the education process and trying to make it better, for lack of a better word. So as always, I have with me Ray Hayes. Again, thank you uh, for coming on, and chatting about this conversation. I think this conversation is going to be really pertinent to you because you're from Chicago.
Yes, man.
Yep. So first things first, let's talk about the $1 million donation. I think you have a little bit more, knowledge on the situation than I do. You being a Chicago native, so just if you can, just walk us through why Chance the Rapper donated and what led him to that decision.
Uh, Chance went about going about donating the money after he met with Illinois Governor uh, Ronner. Ronner, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Ronner. A lot of people from the city not too much caring that much about him and how he's going about doing his job. Um, so with Chance going about giving the funds, it was all a result of the disappointing meeting with Ronner. Ronner, the Illinois governor, is currently in a budget stalemate with Democrats, and basically he's not budging one bit at all. Uh,
What do you mean budgeting one
Ronner
bit at
vetoed
all
the plan.
to education? You mean
He said again.
you said he's not budgeting
It's not. It's
one bit at all to what?
no. He's not budging. Budging. He's
Oh,
not.
budging. Sorry,
He's
I thought
not
you.
going. Yeah, he's not
Gotcha.
budging. He
Okay.
he he recently, back in December, he vetoed a plan to allot $215 to Chicago public schools after he said Democratic leaders publicly renegated on a pension reform measure to slash state employee retirement costs. Uh, and after hearing that, Chance was just pissed off. And after the meeting with Ronner, Chance the Rapper stated that he was basically using the Chicago youth or children in public schools as they're like captives. They couldn't. I mean, they were hurt in this whole situation. And with that being said, if the governor's not going to do anything, Chance stepped up and said, "I'm going to make a difference." Because this money, I mean, the budget hasn't been set as of yet, and I mean, it's no in the future. It doesn't like the budget is going to be set anytime soon. So Chance said, like I said, he's going to step up and make a difference himself, and maybe with him doing this, it puts more pressure on Ronner and just Illinois the congressmen of Illinois and the senators. Hey, if we have a rapper out of this city making a difference, why can't we step up and change the funding and help out with funding going into Chicago public schools?
Okay. So, how did he get the 1 million exactly? Is he donating it from? I read somewhere he's donating it from his tour, his upcoming tour, or is
I think I'm not. Now that I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything where he's getting the money from,
okay,
but
okay.
possibly it could come from the school. But I haven't read anything about where he's actually
Yeah, I read
taking
somewhere.
the money from.
Yeah, I read somewhere that he's getting it. He's basically his partnerships with some of his sponsors and some of the
Okay.
people he's working with for he's getting the 1 million from the upcoming tour that he's doing. He's going to take that and then donate it to the Chicago public schools, which I mean, this is fantastic. Now,
Yeah, definitely.
I will say this. I hope this isn't as great of an effort as this is. I don't want this to be a one-time thing. Um, and what I mean by that is, for example, no offense to, I mean, donating 1 million is a lot. All right, let's start there. Donating a
And
million
it's to 10
dollars
schools.
to 10 schools, just 1 million in general,
Yeah.
is a lot of money, and donating that to any organization or any educational system or whatever school, whatever you're trying to donate it to, is a lot of money, and it's fantastic. And in my opinion, it's up to the organization that you're donating to really take that money and really do something with it and help grow that institution or organization, whatever it is. With that being said, I really hope that, and that's why we're talking about this, I really hope that this is the start of a quote unquote revolution, if you will, where more people, individuals, are really getting involved in the education process. And what I mean by that is, for far too long, people are relying too heavily on educational institutions, especially when you're talking about inner city people. And what I found is that institutions can only do so much. Some of the biggest and where people learn the most from, in my opinion, is in their home environment or really outside of schools. That's really where you are. That's really where it's kind of helped to understand why you're being educated and what this information can be used for, later down the road. Because when you're in like a math class, for example, you don't know what geometry can really be used for unless
Hmm.
you have a dad or a mom who works with that every day or knows how that can be used to get a job. Because if you don't, then you're just kind of gonna be like, whatever. So I don't want to go too far in terms of like education was being taught. But my main point is that I really hope that this is the start of Chance the Rapper maybe donating 1 million, and maybe not necessarily donating, but more people getting involved in education, especially in the inner city, so that we can really do a better job of preparing young people for the future. So, with that being,
And I want to make it clear
yeah,
too. I mean, Chance, even though he did donate the million back in 2014, Derrick Rose,
wait,
he
what?
didn't go in directly to. Well, back in 2014, Derrick Rose, the
Derrick
former
Rose.
Chicago
Okay,
Bulls player,
you said Chance the
yeah,
Rapper. Yeah, yeah.
he went about giving $1 million to Chicago after school programs. So I mean,
What happened with
it's
that
a
money?
stepping stone. It's been used. It went to the program is called After Schools Matters. It's
Okay,
a Chicago non-for-profit organization devoted to providing initiatives out of school programs for teenagers. So I mean, they made use of that money and helped with different programs. So
okay,
with him and a slew of other Chicago entertainers and athletes, I mean, they're helping.
okay.
So
So,
we can definitely,
so you are seeing a rise when it comes to like people getting
yeah,
involved
definitely.
in the Chicago, in particular, education
And
system.
it's the Seattle Seahawks defensive lineman Michael Bennett. He stated that when he found out Chance was giving back to Chicago public schools, he decided to give some of his salary money to I guess his local area schools. So
Oh,
once
for sure.
more people with funds and with this kind of money, see other celebrities and entertainers making a difference. And it's not all about, hey, I don't have to do what Colin Kaepernick did. I can put my money where my mouth is. So I think it's more things are to come in the future as you see some of the big name celebrities giving back. LeBron James.
Well, yeah, I mean LeBron.
You have Nelly.
We all know about LeBron
Nelly
James.
giving back as well.
And Nelly. Yep. LeBron James does a lot, not only for education, but also for small businesses in Cleveland. I know he had that show coming out where he was just supporting small businesses in the local area. Yeah, so yeah, nobody can question him. But yeah, so we got Chance the Rapper, we got Michael Bennett. Who was the other name that you said?
Yeah, Nelly.
Nelly. I mean,
Nelly,
yeah,
the rapper Nelly.
Yeah, Nelly.
He's sending a bunch of kids in the St. Louis area to college. I think it was about roughly maybe 10 or 20 kids he sent to college in the St. Louis area. So I mean, there's people out there that's helping. I mean, but we just don't. They don't have a big as name as Chance right now.
Yeah, I think another thing that I hope this does is more coordinated efforts. Because I do notice that people, I think that's one of the issues why those things don't get as big as they could be, is because everybody's kind of doing their own thing. In order to help.
Yeah, it's true.
Without, in order to help, different locals, cities or schools or what have you. I also think that, I'll just emphasize that coordinated efforts, because then you have situations where, like, in Atlanta, which is getting a huge support, from its entertainers, or not even entertainers, but just people around, successful people from that city. But then you'll have a city like just a Midwest in general, that isn't getting as much support. So what we'll see is like an Atlanta city doing very well, especially when it comes to like people trying to come up in that city, really kind of outside of education, but just more so after school, versus like a city that needs help too, but since everybody's from Atlanta, can't really get as much support. So yeah, but more coordinated efforts, I think, would go a long way. I know you got people like Killer Mike, who's doing certain things, especially when it comes to like banking, specifically. But if we were able to just coordinate a little bit better and do banking as well as education, I think it could go a long way. And I think that Chance the Rapper's donation is one step in the right direction. I think all those people's, like Nelly, he's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
I think that those are definitely steps in the right direction. I just think it just need a little bit more coordination. Now, it's especially interesting that Chance is doing this because, or in spite of, politics. And as we're getting older, it just seems like this partisan bickering is just getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that these efforts are going to be needed a lot more, which is sad to say, but in the future, especially in the immediate future, because we're seeing so much bickering, like it's almost, it's amazing that you're seeing that you're getting more support the more you tell people what you're not going to do. I mean, if you really want to simplify,
what do you mean by it?
Well, if you really want to simplify this, Republicans, for example, took over the House, Senate, and got Donald Trump. Well, there's other parts to it, but the big reason why is because they said healthcare sucks.
Okay.
Pretty much it, right? They didn't offer a plan, didn't offer a new idea. They just said healthcare sucks, and we're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna help the people in power to make healthcare better at all. Vote for us.
That right there is crazy in itself.
Yeah, but that's what
we're not going to help. It sucks, but we're not going to help fix it.
Yep, and then they got a bunch of support, and now they run the House, the Senate, and 66% of House and Senate in America.
But now it's in their bill they just introduced. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say the bill they recently introduced is very similar to the bill they said that sucks so bad.
Oh,
no, I mean there are some differences, but I mean there's a lot of similarities. There are a few similarities with
I
their
think,
bill as well.
yeah, I think I was watching the debate and somebody said it best. We really can't judge it right now because there's still a ton of negotiation that has to be done. In their defense, this isn't the final product. This is Obamacare light. It really is because they just basically renamed some of the taxes that Obamacare hits you with. But there's going to be a ton of negotiation going on here. This isn't the final product. So let's we'll see what happens with that. But I'm more so I want to. The reason why I said that is because I really want to segue to Chicago or the state of
Mm-hmm.
Illinois, and the fact that nothing's getting done because that's the environment of politics right now. You say this is what I'm not gonna do, and then you just stay your ground, and then watch the support come to you. And because that's the environment of politics now, we're seeing other pieces get affected, like education. You
True.
know, we're voting on what people won't do instead of what people are saying they will do, and and then we wonder why
You
education,
disregard.
yeah, and then we wonder why educate things like education, um, things like infrastructure can't get done. Well, because people are staking everything on this one policy, one out of 20 policies, and they're making it a
And
big
it's kind of
deal.
like the Chicago's teachers union is constantly threatening to go on strike. This year, they're threatening to end school a month early because of the budget situation. It's kind of like damn near every year there's either a strike or a threat of a strike.
I mean, that's tough, man.
I mean, it's tough at the end of the day on the students and the teachers.
Yeah, I mean,
The teachers are worried about the budget situation instead of being worried about uh, their teaching plan,
yeah, actually,
teaching these students for the next day.
yeah, I actually know a couple of
Go ahead.
teachers in public school systems. They get little to no support, man. That's the big issue. Like I actually can
I
understand.
agree.
I can actually understand where they're coming from when they're like, we're going on strike, because the support they get is next to nothing. And then back that up with the pay that they're getting, like my God. And then you talk about people, and now they want to cut educate the education budget. Like, think about this: if you're a teacher, so you're a teacher, you got 30 to 40 kids on, and remember, like, let's say you got 30 kids in your classroom, public school systems, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna say, let's say half of them are gonna have situations at home that just isn't favorable, so they're not really trying to learn anyway. Then you got to deal with, like, troublemakers at school, which, by the way, you get no support, and if you try to discipline them, you can get sued or fired, so you can't even discipline them. Um, then you got then you've got the different what metrics that you have to meet. I call them KPIs, but that's kind of like a business term, but the metrics that you have to meet in order to make sure that they're succeeding. But it's really hard to push that through when kids just have other issues that they're dealing with, and like this is just kind of not the most important thing in their lives right now. And then to back that up, when you try to go to support from like your principal or something, or whatever, they're not really gonna support you like that because they really can't. They can only support you so much. Then you got the
Right.
then you got the whole like bureaucracy of the fact that if there's a bad teacher, that they just, let's say you're teaching, I don't know, seventh graders. If the sixth grade teacher was bad, and then you get them, they don't know half the crap anyway. But the sixth grade teacher can't get fired. I mean, it's just like education is just really, really screwy. And then to top this off, they want to cut education budgets even further. Like, it's ridiculous.
They're ridiculous. But I mean, that's where you have your chances and your Derrick Roses. That's where they step into play.
Yep, and this is, hopefully, Chance the Rapper. This really, really is the education revolution because, and this is important. Don't get me wrong, but we've got a huge, huge issue with like healthcare. I know people are talking about jobs. People are talking about defense. But one of the things that gets lost is education,
Yeah.
and it gets lost every year. You really don't hear about it. despite the fact that everybody is aware that it needs a ton of work. We've got Betsy DeVos now as a Secretary of Education, which, people, some people don't have a very high opinion on her. Some people do. Uh, whether you have a high opinion on her or not, the fact is she doesn't really have a lot of experience in education. She doesn't. So what we're probably going to see is she's going to struggle very similar to Trump in putting things together. Whether you think Trump is doing a good job or a bad job is irrelevant. The one thing that we all knew was going to be a weakness for Trump, and it's showing tremendously, and it's going to be a weakness for Betsy DeVos, is putting things together in a political sense. So finding people to staff your organization, finding the right people, to staff your organization, and who have the same ideas as you, to push those forward and push those through in every state, or just basically throughout your department. That's going to be really hard because she just doesn't have that experience, and we're seeing, and it's been really hard for Trump. People want to talk about, oh, there's people trying to sabotage his administration and whatnot, and that may be true. That may be true, or well, let me say
That's
that
not the whole case.
Yeah, exactly. Whether that's true or not, it still doesn't negate the fact that since he doesn't have any experience in the political realm, he doesn't know how to put an administration together. He just doesn't know. And because of that, if you did vote for him, you'd have to understand that, hey, it generally takes an administration, I don't know the exact time, probably like to put everybody together, it takes a little while. But however, I think it's like, I don't know, like your basic people together, maybe, I don't know, 3 months, 3 to 6 months or something like that. Long term. So you really have to.
Yeah.
So because of that, like, it's gonna take Trump way longer because he just doesn't have that experience. Same with Betsy DeVos. So because of that, what we have to understand is that that's going to be a big weakness for her. It's just the running of that department because she has no experience. So because of that, we're going to need people like Chance the Rapper to really support in any way they can, especially when you've got states that are playing the politics game and holding, like you said, students hostage in this game. And Republicans aren't the only ones to blame. Democrats are to blame as well. So yeah, that's education, politics, and the world around us.
It's a chess game. It's a chess match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to look at it as a game. I just want to look at it as.
Unfortunately, it's unfortunate to look at it as a game, but it is. It definitely is. It's kind of like either you help me with this, or you be a little bit more lenient on this topic, then I'll help the children out. Yeah, but if you don't,
you know what?
We'll see.
You know what you just said, something there that really, I just realized something, and this is why education probably doesn't get the support it needs.
What's that?
The people who need education can't vote.
So you got a point there.
So why would you support that?
Man, you got a big point there. Very big point. Yeah. They can't vote, and by the time they do vote, you probably won't be in office.
Yeah, so it's probably why it's easy to cut their budgets.
But another thing is too, though, Jamie. A lot of these politicians. Well, I mean, I can't because I can't say that factually. But a few of these politicians, their children don't go to public schools.
Yeah,
they go to the top private schools, Catholic schools, or charter schools.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because they have the resources. The public school, majority of public schools come from a few of them come from low income backgrounds, and studies have shown, and we know firsthand, the low income students from the low income community are disregarded, including their parents. So like you said, when it comes to, we're going to help them, not only we don't care, and we don't really care that much because they cannot vote. On another thing, too, they're not backing our political campaign. They're not giving funds to our political campaign. So what is my incentive of helping, giving funds to the public schools? So I don't know. It has to be solved. It has to be solved, but we need more people to step up. Not only just people with the funds. I mean, me and you, we can give back $20 every month or so. But we have to step up. If the school is struggling, they need funds, parents have to step up, make their voices heard loud and clear, go into town hall meetings, talking to the aldermen, seeing what we can do. But we can't just say, okay, they're not giving us funds. Let's make them give us funds.
Yeah, that's
Well, go ahead.
yeah, that's pretty much that's essentially it. I know it's tough because I don't, charter schools are fine. I don't hate charter schools or whatnot. But I do think that there is a need for public school systems, and I do think public school
Yeah,
systems
definitely.
definitely need a heck of a lot more support than what they're getting. Um, so it's catch-22 because with this Chance the Rapper like $1 million being donated, you could you could kind of you can make the argument that this is why charter schools are more necessary. Because charter schools is basically privatization, of education and whatnot. So it's all about that profit piece. But I do think that this shouldn't be a push towards charter schools, but more so of an emphasis that we need more public schools because Chance the Rapper can't donate $1 million. He can't go on tour every year,
No,
until he's 80, trying to support these public schools. Like they need that.
no, not at all.
They need that support from their government. And
And you not only the government, but you need alumni support too.
yeah, I don't know how that works.
Alumni support.
Can alumni donate to public schools like that?
Yeah, I'm sure they can. I mean, I know I get mail all the time from my old high school or public school I used to attend.
Okay,
They're
so
asking for funds. So I mean,
I'm interested as
it
to
can happen.
how that would work. I'm sorry, I'm thinking like you're just like donating it straight to. Well, maybe you probably could, but yeah, that would be weird. See, that's what I don't. So if everybody donated to a public school for their alumni, I guess that could work. But then the question becomes, what is the government doing? Because the government needs to be. That's one of their, in my opinion, that's one of their sole focuses, which is you can make the argument on what. Because it's always when it comes to the government, it's what should the government be responsible for, and obviously the government should be responsible for things such as like police, can't privatize that, fire department, and in addition to that, one of the things they should be responsible for is education, because not everybody can afford that, but they do owe citizens that. But if citizens like alumni are supporting that, then no, like the government needs to be supporting that in some way, because that is a basic right that everybody deserves, and that is a decent education. Um, but yeah, man, this hopefully again this is the start of some type of revolution where more people are getting involved with education who can, and support it
I
because
think I was gonna say I think it already started. I think this is just another step in the right direction. It started as far as people like me and you not hearing about certain stories, but it has started. But I just think now it's coming to the light more. Like you said, I mean, since people there's a partisan. I mean, well, you have the government fighting it against one another, and it's being made public. Now people are stepping up and making the difference for themselves.
Yeah, you're right. It seems as
Because
if
Chance went to a public school.
yeah,
He went to Jones College Prep.
yeah,
So, with that being said, he understands the value of a public education.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he understands what they need. So, hey, I'm going to give you this money because I come from this environment, I come from this community, and I understand what this community needs. If you have more people like that, a lot more can happen. Derrick Rose went to a public school too. Just, I mean, if you look at the people who are giving the funds, they understand the community, the school, what's going on in the public system, and they understand the value of the education there and what they got from it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to give back. I'm going to help. But yeah, and also, I'm sorry, one more thing, Jabari Parker, he's giving back to Simeon. Simeon is where he went to school at. So people are, I mean, they're helping. Like I said, this is not the start of something to happen. It's something that's already happening, but now it's getting publicly. People are talking more about it because
that's good.
Political figures are not doing anything to fix a problem. A point of example, Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner. Step your game up, or within the next few years you're going to be out of office. I mean, you can't keep fighting and whining about the Democrats are not taking this action or are not helping you with this. And if you don't have to give the $215 million, give something. Stop arguing and complaining. Step up. You're the governor. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, it's his job to make a deal. It's his job to bring both parties together and figure out how to come up with a solution to solve this issue. And
it's kind of like he doesn't. I'm not gonna say he doesn't want to solve the solution, but it just doesn't look. It doesn't look good on his part.
Yeah, like I said, we're in this weird time where like you get more political points for complaining than for actually doing stuff.
You're right. So, but we'll see, Zane. We'll see.
Yeah, man. We will.
If anything's to come of this, we'll see, and we will report on it. We will talk about it. Let's say that.
Yeah, we definitely will. Don't have to worry about that. But okay. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Not the arm. But okay.
I thought you cut me out. Cut you off for a second.
No. I had to go. But
I was gonna hit you with the hello, man.
Good one. Yeah. So, thank you as always for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. Happy daylight savings times to everyone as well.
And happy daylight. I think
happy.
Happy is. I don't think you say happy. I think it's another word for some people.
Happy day. Happy. I don't know. Happy daylight savings time.
Some people. Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, true.
Yeah. So thanks again for tuning in, listening. We'll post this on Supplier T News, and we'll definitely share this as well. Next week, what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna highlight the We Are NMSDC campaign that we just posted about in our weekly newsletter, and we'll also have some other stuff to talk to you guys about as well. So again, as always, thanks for listening, and have a great day or have a great weekend.
Have a good one.